Hello, 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 hello. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're calling from, or joining in from, or watching this from. I say hi today because what we're talking about today is going to be so powerful. Last week we talked about how your inner child is running your adult self, and I gave tips, I gave tricks, I gave things, tools that you should use, and break it down your letter. I hope you committed to yourself and you did what I asked you to do. Now guys, I'm putting in the work by sitting down here, putting together the content, sharing with you, and giving you all the things that you need to function. I am only asking that you sit down and do the things that I ask you to do so that you can get the benefit that I know you will get and the transformation that I know you will get. Okay? So please commit to yourself as I'm committing to you. It's not a give back. This is my contribution to you. So I beg of you, contribute back to yourself by doing the work that I ask you to do at the end of every day or every time that I'm here. I will do everything that I can to show up every week to teach you something different and something that you can implement. I won't only teach you the what, I will teach you the how as well. But I expect that you then sit down and do what I ask you to do. Sometimes you might not even need to get a therapist just because you have learned something from me. Okay? All right. Now that I believe that you have agreed to what we're talking about, let's go. All right. Your attachment style is sabotaging your relationships. And here is how to fix it. It's my bold statement. If you're anxiously checking your phone, avoidantly pulling away, or securely thriving, this presentation explains everything about your love life. And by the end, you'll understand why you do what you do in relationships, and more importantly, how to change it. How does that sound? Great. Now, the relationship pattern you cannot stop. This is what is happening. You don't know how to do it. You wish to do different, but you don't. Here's why. So, do you find yourself in the same relationship problems with different partners? Yes. Yeah, the unlucky one in love, you say. You keep choosing the wrong people, you say. You keep ending up in the same dynamic, different person, same pattern. Yes. If this is you, you're in the right place. Now, here's the truth: you are not in bad relationships. Neither are you bad at relationships. I remember when I used to say that I don't do relationships, they're too hectic when I was younger. And you're not broken. You're also not unlucky. You have an attachment style. Isn't that liberating? To know that there was something that you created as a coping mechanism and a survival strategy, and it was formed when you were too young to consent. There was nothing you could do about it. You couldn't choose your parents or your guardians, but you could choose your coping mechanism, and that's exactly what you did. Now, this is important for you to also know. And this is where liberation comes from: freedom, empowerment, love, and transformation. The felt situation that I like to use is that it is not too late to change it. Now, I want you to know that it's a moment of recognition. We're going to sit down and we're going to go through things. People often feel relief when they realize it's not their fault. They're not broken, they just have a pattern. And if you made the pattern, you can unmake it. If you created the pattern, you can uncreate it. And that's what makes it beautiful. Remember last week, I talked about neuroscience and how your brain can rewire itself by creating new neural pathways because your brain is elastic. If you change it and you do it repeatedly, it will change. And that's great. Now, what is attachment theory? It was developed by John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth in the 1960s. And the core idea is how your caregivers treated you determines how you treat romantic partners. Your mother's emotional availability becomes your baseline for what love looks like. That means if your mother was emotionally unavailable, your baseline for love will come from there. Your father's consistency becomes your expectation for reliability. That means your father's inconsistency becomes your expectation for unreliability. Your family's way of handling conflict becomes your way. Your attachment style is learned in childhood and automatically is activated in adult relationships, period. Now, here's the good news: your attachment isn't your destiny, it was only a programming, and programming can be relieved and rewritten. It was learned so you can unlearn it. You can shift your attachment style. It takes awareness plus practice plus intention. If you add these three things together, API, right? 100% it is possible for you to change your attachment styles. And I will share what they are because it's broken down in different theories. There are four major attachment styles, right? There's the secure attachment, which means that you're comfortable with intimacy. You're happy when people love on you. You're good with boundaries. You can say no and you can say yes easily. You're calm in conflict. You're not creating conflict, but in conflict, you're calm because you are thinking from a place of togetherness. Roughly 50% of the population have healthy relationships. They still have challenges, right? But their relationships are healthier and they navigate them very maturely. So this is when you're okay with yourself. You're okay when people go, you're okay when people come. You're okay when people love on you or checking on you. You're not running away from, you're not afraid that people will leave you. And so but here comes the anxious attachment style. You are afraid of abandonment. You need constant reassurance. You are clingy. So constantly you need reassurance. Do you still love me? Textbooks anxiety in relationships is fear driven. I used to be anxious in my relationships. In fact, when I used to think that my man has to always look for me, send me messages, checking on me. I'm sure I spooked my husband out at the beginning because unfortunately I attracted an avoidant attachment person. That's how he created his own. So love, too much love, he can't deal with it. Don't check in on, why are you checking in on me all the time? Meanwhile, me, I want you to check in on me. And the way you want love is also the way you give it. That changed everything for me, guys, when I learned it. There's the avoidant attachment style. You fear intimacy. You push people away. You're emotionally distant. You're uncomfortable with emotional intimacy. You need lots of space. You often say, I'm not a relationship person. Oh, so maybe I was both when I was younger. And then I became anxious because now I didn't want anybody to leave me again. Too many people had left me. And so no, I must hold on to you with every fiber of my being. You can't go. You can't. I was terrible. Now, there's also the disorganized attachment. This is a chaotic mix of anxious and avoidant. So you're unpredictable with your patterns. Today you want love. Tomorrow I don't want love. I want my space. Now, most painful of to experience often comes from trauma, and this honestly requires professional support. It's the most painful of experiences, I promise you. Now, most people aren't 100% one style. You might be anxious in some situation, avoidant in others. The primary question is, which one is your primary pattern? Right? It is, honestly. It's which one is your primary pattern? Because for me, like I said, I moved from the avoidance to attachment. Sometimes I was both. Sometimes I went from one extreme to the other. But predominantly, I figured out that I was more anxious than anything else. And I didn't want, and it came from a place of not belonging and not feeling like I was loved. So I found love in all the wrong places and I begged for it. I cried for it. And the people that I went to for This love couldn't give it to me. Now, in childhood, your caregiver was consistently available. This is for the secure person. Your needs were heard and met. You felt safe to explore and come back. Your emotions were validated. You learned that people were reliable. This is a secure child. In adult relationships, you can be intimate without losing yourself. You don't panic when your partner needs space. Oh, you couldn't tell me then that you need space. What did I do? What did I say? Right? But now I'm okay with space. Can communicate during conflict, trust that relationships can weather hard times, and don't need constant reassurance. You can advocate for your needs and you feel worthy of love. The secure person has realistic expectations. It knows that relationships have ups and downs, can fight and recover. There's a nice way of repairing through any fight. It not doesn't mean you fight, but then you come back and repair. Feels calm in their own skin, does not need to perform, and can be very vulnerable. That's the secure person. The good news, if you're secure, you're in the best position for healthy love. If you're not secure yet, this is where you must be heading to, right? This is it. And this is what I had to do. I had to move from sometimes oscillating between avoidant and anxious to deciding that I want to be secure and healthy in my love. I want to be able to love regardless of what other people do, because love for me now means, in spite of what you do, I will do my part. I had to ask God to teach me how to love in His own way. Not waiting for somebody to do for me first. You don't have to ever do. As long as I live, I will do my part. And if for nothing at all, every time I come there, I will find the one that I deposited. And for me, that is great news. And if I can do it, you too can. Now, this is the anxious one, the pursuer. In childhood, your caregiver was inconsistent. Sometimes they showed up, sometimes they didn't. You had to earn their attention, and you learned that I have to do more to be worthy. Abandonment felt likely, maybe also happened. And so in adult relationships, you constantly need reassurance. Your top question is, does he or she still love me? You want texts frequently, calls frequently. You get anxious if no response. You fear if your partner leaves. You jump to worst case scenario. You pursue when your partner withdraws. You feel rejected easily. You monitor your partner's behaviors for signs of living. You're often willing to compromise yourself to keep relationships. Now, this is not a judgment to anyone. This is us just being aware, because awareness starts anything. Before any transformation, you must be aware. And that's what I'm doing here. So, the anxious spiral, your fear of abandonment, you cling tighter, your partner feels smothered, your partner withdraws, anxiety increases, you cling even tighter. Eventually, your partner leaves, confirming your own fear. That's a terrible spiral, isn't it? Kai. The anxious person thinks, if I'm just perfect enough, if I'm just more attentive, if I could prove my love enough, then they will stay. But no amount of effort ever feels like enough. And your root fear is, if you really knew me, you would leave. This is so relatable to me. Oh, so relatable to me. The anxious person isn't needy, they're scared. So, do I still have my care for people? Absolutely. But it's no longer from the fear of the fact that they will leave me. So, I had to work through that. But I had to know it first to be able to work through it. Now, this is the avoidant person in childhood. Your caregiver was emotionally unavailable or dismissive. Don't cry, you are fine, they said to you. Don't bother me with your feelings, you are disturbing me, go away. You learned, I cannot trust anyone. You learned, I'm better off alone. Independence was valued over connection. your emotions were seen as weakness. So in adulthood, you're uncomfortable with emotional intimacy. You run from it. Your partner wants to talk about feelings, you shut down immediately. In fact, you're on your phone saying, I'm listening. You're not listening. When things get close, you pull away. You're afraid. You tell yourself relationships are too much work. You have many serial short relationships. An avoidant person is the one that will sleep with so many different people because I refuse deep connection. You say, I'm not just a relationship person, so I'm not into it. You create distance through criticism or coldness. You prioritize independence over togetherness. And you say, this is how I am. It's not, it's what you learned. So the avoidant trap, you distance. Your partner feels rejected. Your partner pursues you. They pursue. You panic. Too much. You distance more. Eventually, the relationships end. And what do you say? I knew it wouldn't work. So the avoidant person thinks relationship means losing myself. And so they say, I don't need anyone. I'm good all by myself. People always disappoint me. It is safer to be alone. The avoidant person is also on the fence when they enter into a relationship. They're like, so what's your expectation? Nothing. There's no way you will not have an expectation. The reason why you're on the fence is because you're afraid that, let me just stay neutral so that if it doesn't work, it will not pain me too much. You're afraid of something. And your root fear is if I let you close, you will control me. Or everyone leaves eventually, so why bother? You will control me here is the top one. The avoidant person is is adamant not to be controlled. Meanwhile, they don't know that that thing is already controlling them. Avoidants don't often realize they have a fear. They think they're independent and they're not. There's a fear underneath, and this is the root fear, the two of them that I just mentioned. Now, the disorganized one, this is the confused one. Your caregiver was scary. They were abusive, unpredictable, and they wanted to control you. You needed connection, but connection wasn't safe from them. You wanted to trust, but you were hurt all the time. So you learned connection equals danger. So in adult relationships, you are chaotic. You look for trouble because you don't know what peace feels like. You're intense, then distance, hot, then cold. You push people away, then pull them back. High conflict, dramatic breakthroughs, breakups, on again, off again. You cannot self-regulate. You spiral, rage, then you shut down. You may attract abusive partners, repeating the patterns. You have difficulty trusting anyone. You have intense fear of abandonment mixed with the need to distance. You may use anger as a defense mechanism. Can you hear yourself in all these four styles that I've just mentioned? Which one is predominant for you? Once again, it's not a judgment. It's us creating awareness. The disorganized person thinks love is dangerous. People will hurt me. I need someone, but I can't trust anyone. And this honestly is the most painful attachment style. This style often comes with a lot of trauma. And I say to you that professional support is highly recommended because it's not your fault, but healing is your responsibility. Disorganized folks have experienced deep, real trauma. So please, you need to have professional help. I'll share a story with you. Jessica, she had the anxious loop, 29 years old, dating Mark for 2 years. When Jessica was 5, her father left suddenly. No goodbye, no explanation. He just left. Her mother never explained it, never talked about it, just pretended it didn't exist. Jessica spent her childhood wondering, why wasn't I enough for him to stay? This was a subconscious conversation, by the way. She became hyper vigilant about relationships, always available, always accommodating, always trying to make people stay. She learned, I have to work hard to keep people. I have to be perfect so they don't leave because my father left. And if I had done this for my father, maybe he wouldn't have left. If I'm attentive enough, responsive enough, loving enough, they'll stay. In her relationship with Mark, she texted him constantly. Constantly. When he didn't reply immediately, she spiraled. He's losing interest. He's going to leave me. I'm not enough. She showed up at his work unannounced. She needed to know where he was, who he was with. She checked his phone. She became obsessed with finding proof that he loved her and also finding proof that he didn't. Mark's experience, however, he was secure. He was patient at first, but slowly he felt suffocated. He felt mistrusted. He felt like he was walking on eggshells. No matter what he did, it wasn't enough to reassure her. Her breaking point. Mark asked her for space, and Jessica panicked. Please, hold on a second. What happened? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. My dog just fell down, so it scared me a little bit. Jessica panicked. I also panicked. She accused him of cheating. She snooped through his phone. She made accusations based on nothing. Mark felt violated and he left. Now, Jessica's story. See, everyone leaves me just like that. What actually happened? Her anxiety pushed him away. And so Jessica came to me for work. She discovered her anxiety wasn't about Mark, it was about her father. So she learned to self soothe without needing Mark's constant reassurance. She built friendships so Mark wasn't her entire world. She realized Mark wasn't her father, he could be trusted. Now, her next relationship, however, she gave space. She didn't text constantly. She didn't check his phone. She trusted without needing constant proof. And that relationship thrived. Jessica's realization, my fear of abandonment was creating the abandonment I feared. Many anxious people, myself inclusive, went through this entire, in fact, this could have been easily my story. Easily my story. It's the same thing. I've done exactly the same spiral and journey. Check his phone, look for how I know that. And then, of course, when you search, you will find. And I did find. And it broke me even further because now, hey, I talk out, as we say in Nigeria. I knew it. I was broken. There's something wrong with me. And that's exactly what happened, guys. So, another story, David, 35 years old. I can't find the right woman, he said to me. He dates women for 6 to 9 months, then exits. His excuse, they want too much, not compatible, I need my independence. He had probably 20 relationships that followed the same exact pattern. In his childhood, his parents fought constantly. His mother was needy, clingy, always wanting connection. His father was unavailable emotionally, always withdrawing. So young David observed love equals losing yourself, connection equals being trapped. He decided early, I'm going to be independent. I'm not going to need anyone. His survival strategy, his independence became his identity. I don't need people. Relationships are too much work. I'm better off alone. But underneath, he was terrified of intimacy, terrified of needing someone, terrified of being trapped like his mother. As things deepened, he started finding problems. She's too needy. She wants too much. I don't have enough space. He'll stay late at work to avoid going home. He'll create distance through criticism. He will withdraw emotionally. The women's experiences, they'll push away. They'll try to get close. He'll push harder. You know, classic anxious avoidance dance. Eventually, he'll leave. She'll hurt. He'll feel relieved. David's story, I'm just allergic to relationships, I'm too independent. Reality was he was terrified of vulnerability. Now, in therapy with me, David recognized his dad in himself. He realized his independence was actually abandonment of self and partner. He realized he never let anyone know him for who he really was. Vulnerability was in fact, a taboo in his language. Vulnerable, tell people so that they will leave. No, 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 no. His fear of being trapped was actually fear of being known. And so his breakthrough in his next relationship, he stayed through the discomfort. He didn't run when things got close. He communicated his need for space without creating distance, and he let himself be known. He realized intimacy doesn't mean losing yourself. And David said, my independence was actually isolation. And avoidants don't realize they have a problem. They think they're independent. It's costing you a lot. It's costing you love. It's costing you joy. It's costing you satisfaction and fulfillment and enjoyment of life. It is. Now, this the science that of all of this, your brain's attachment system. So we've got something called the nervous system. Everybody, we all have it, right? And between the ages of 0 and 5, your caregivers consistency is equals to your expectations for all your relationships, because your nervous system learns early. Your brain literally wires neural pathways based on early patterns. If your caregiver was inconsistent, your brain learns people are unreliable. If your caregiver was old, your brain learns connection is dangerous. If your caregiver was responsive, your brain learns people can be trusted. Now, we also have something called the limbic system, it's your emotional brain. You've got your amygdala in this and the hippocampus. It stores attachment memories automatically. Your emotional brain automatically is the first part of your brain that is formed, because it just is what it is. It's the oldest part of your brain. When you're with a romantic partner, it activates those memories, whether you like it or not. So you don't consciously decide to be clingy or distant. Your nervous system responds from old patterns. Harvard study, the Framingham Heart Study, followed 1,000 people for 40 plus years. They found attachment style in early relationship predicted satisfaction rates decades later, conflict patterns, divorce rate, overall happiness in relationships. Your attachment style will predict it straight. Now, the great part is with conscious awareness and practice, you can rewire your attachment system. Your brain imaging shows new neural pathways forming within 3 to 6 months, because your brain is plastic. It can change. It's called neuroplasticity. So that's just so great, because we're not just talking woo woo now, we're talking science. Your attachment style will be equals to the life that you will live, predicted with this Harvard study that they've done for over 40 years. And they have worked with the same people, watched them from childhood to adulthood, and they were able to predict that this person's life will be XYZ, and it was. Let's go now to the Bible. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Anxious attachment is equals to fear. Avoidant attachment is equals to fear. Secure attachment is equals to love without fear. And though my father and mother forsake me, the Lord will receive me. Psalm 27:10 says, your earthly parents' attachment style is not your destiny. God offers secure attachment, a love that will never leave. The Bible says that nothing can separate us from the love of God. And God's presence will always, always be there. You don't even need to believe in it. It will always be there. Your belief in it doesn't change anything. The Bible also says, train up a child in the way he should go. When he's old, he will not depart from it, which then means that what you learn in childhood tends to persist into adulthood. But the healing you also receive now persists. So when you experience secure attachment with a partner, therapist, or yourself, that rewires you too. And God modeled secure attachment. I will never leave you nor forsake you. God didn't say, if you leave me, I will leave you. He says, I will never, regardless of, in spite, despite, respite what you do. This is the attachment style that we need to learn. And this is what we all deserve. Yes, God's love. Now, the most common dance is the anxious avoidance dance. This is the most common in relationships that I've seen. There's two attachment styles that always attract themselves. Anxious partner, pursuer, wants closeness, afraid of abandonment, pursues when partner withdraws, seeks reassurance. Avoidant partner, distancer, wants freedom at all costs, afraid of loss of self, withdraws when pursued, creates distance. Constant dance. So anxious pursues for closeness, avoidance feels suffocated and withdraws. Anxious feels abandoned and panics, anxious pursues harder, avoidance distances further, relationship deteriorates, and it just keeps going round and round. Now, the irony of this, however, because you're going to be thinking, oh, so this is so bad. It's not. They're perfect for each other's triggers. They are, but they're terrible for each other's healings. So, unless one or both becomes aware and changes, this can finish you. I decided that I was going to be the one that would change in my relationship. So, I did the work. It was tough doing it by myself, but I did it, however, because I knew that if I changed, everything around me would change, including my partner. Now, I also learned that he was showing me a mirror of what I also needed to work on. So he was eventually my teacher, not my the one that was causing me pain. So each person must develop secure traits independently. Your job is not to fix the relationship. I used to say, no, let's work with, so let's help each other. You can't. You fix yourself first, whilst the other is doing their own. And together, you now, even because you're working on each other independently, you now start to see how you align together, right? And honestly, it is so possible for your relationship to transform from reactive to responsive, from dance to partnership. And this is where I see you and I want you to be in today. My relationship is a far cry from where it used to be when I initially got married. Before, you take one, I took 20. But even in all of that, I'm saying, no, oh my God, now you don't want to do it. It's okay. I get up and I go and do what I want to do and enjoy the experience with other people, because I personally believe that there's so many people who I can enjoy this world with. And the work is individual first, the relationship is second. So let's do this. What's your attachment style? Let's do this honestly. Okay? So let's look at some anxious indicators. I worry that my partner doesn't really love me. 1, strongly disagree. 5, strongly agree. Let's put that down. I need constant reassurance in my relationships. If that's yes, tick it. In what capacity? 1, of course, being the smallest, and 5 being the strongest. I become anxious when my partner is distant. I check my phone constantly for messages. I check his phone or her phone constantly too. I fear my partner will leave me. I need frequent reassurance of their love. I become upset easily if my partner is late. Now, score yourself. Let's do some avoidance indicators. I'm uncomfortable with emotional intimacy. I feel trapped when relationships get serious. I prefer being alone to being with a partner. I pull away when partners get too close. I don't like talking about feelings. I value my independence above most things. I get annoyed when partners want to spend time with me, or irritated. Maybe annoyed is harsh. Maybe irritated or uncomfortable. What's your score? Put it there. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Now let's look at some secure indicators. I can be close without losing my independence. I handle conflict maturely. I trust my partner generally. I can ask for what I need directly. I feel comfortable with emotional intimacy. I don't panic if my partner needs space, and I can be vulnerable without losing myself. Let's score yourself again. 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. Now, disorganized indicators. My relationships are chaotic and intense. I oscillate between needing and avoiding closeness. I have difficulty trusting anyone. I've experienced trauma in relationships. I have intense fear of abandonment. My emotions are hard to regulate. I find myself in, on again, off again relationships. Now, let's interpret it. What's your score? Highest score is your primary attachment style, 30 plus. Very strong in this style is 20 to 29. Moderately strong is 10 to 9. Mild tendencies under 10, and it's not your primary style. You might score highly in multiple categories. That's normal because most people have a primary style, but secondary traits too. Okay? So I used to be both avoidant and at some point, sometimes then I moved to being anxious. Okay? And then I've worked towards being now secure because that's the way I want to love. So which shows up most for you? Identify it, because once we can, remember, awareness is the first step to anything transformation. Okay? And therapy, I say therapy is cash, CASH, clarity, awareness, strategy slash structure, and then healing. So awareness is a part of it. So let's move from the path. Let's not, because I'm not just teaching you what, I'm teaching you how. So we're going to move from a path from anxious to secure. Well, first, we must recognize the pattern. Notice when you're pursuing, panicking, and seeking reassurance. And then tell yourself, this is my anxiety speaking, not the truth about my relationship. It's my anxiety speaking. Your body is doing what it learned. So your nervous system is playing an old recording, but it's just a recording, not a reality. So step 2, self-soothe. Instead of texting your partner for a reassurance, deep breath in, count for 4, count out for 6, and journal your anxiety, reminding yourself of the rational truth. I am loved. Call a safe friend. You can exercise, you can meditate, you can pray, take a bath, spend time in nature. Teach your nervous system, I am calm and I can calm myself. I don't need external validation. Let me teach you something that God taught me. This is, and I'm no hanky panky here. I was sitting down and thinking one day about, how am I going to do this thing? And I heard clearly, the reason why you wait for other people to check in on you is because you are not checking in on yourself. When was the last time you checked in on yourself? This was clear words to my ears because I have all of my senses heightened. I see, I hear, I smell, I touch, I feel. I have all my senses heightened, right? So I'm clear, everything, voyance, audience, I'm everything, okay? And so I started to do it to myself. Whenever I felt, oh, my husband hasn't checked in on me, I'll send a message to myself, or I write down on my, Adeola, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I love you. Sometimes I'll say, I miss you, right? I started to do it for myself. And then I'll put my hand on my chest, both hands, and just breathe into it and say, I am peace. I choose peace. This is exactly what I did, guys. Step 3, develop independence. Your partner cannot be your entire source of happiness. Impossible. There's a statement that says it takes a village to raise a child. I totally disagree. It takes a village to raise a human being, period. You must have friends. Multiple people you can. I have a village. If I want to go and see a movie, my husband doesn't like to watch movies. I know who to call to say, let's go and watch a movie. I know a few people to call. So if this person is unavailable, this person is available, and they will follow me. You must have multiple people that you rely on. If I want to go and have dinner somewhere, and I know that, I know who to call. Most times it's my sister. No, go chop somewhere. Now that's what I say. It's pigeon in Nigeria. Let's go and eat somewhere. What are your hobbies? Things that you enjoy doing that bring you joy? What are some goals, things that you're working towards? Who are you apart from your relationship? What is your identity about yourself? What's your self esteem like? Things that you are proud of in yourself that you can keep reminding yourself of. Because when you have a full life, one person rejecting you isn't devastating because you have so many other people you can call. If one doesn't agree, another one is there. Or you go by yourself and meet new friends there and create a new village. Step 4, communicate your needs calmly. Instead of, you never text me, you don't care, say, I feel disconnected when we don't check in daily. Can we set a time to reconnect? Same need, different delivery. One shames them, one invites solution. And then trust the process. Your nervous system learned this over years. It will take months to rewire, not days. For some people, years to rewire. So be patient, be consistent, be kind to yourself. Every time you self soothe instead of pursuing, you're rewiring. Every time you take space without panic, you're rewiring. Every time you trust without needing proof, you're rewiring. And I put a kind of a timeline. First 1 to 2 weeks, first awareness of the pattern. 3 to 4 weeks, successes at responding differently. Month 2 to 3, new responses becoming more natural. Months 4 to 6, integration, new patterns, you start to feel normal. And this is a practicable, doable step by step. You can do this. Now, the secure person, the avoidant to secure. Apologies. Recognize the fear. When you want to withdraw, notice, what are you feeling? I'm feeling trapped. Write it down. This is my old fear, not the reality. You learned intimacy equals losing yourself, but you are not that child anymore. And you can protect yourself and still be close today. You tell yourself that, recognize it, then stay present even when uncomfortable. Your discomfort is your growth edge. Don't run when it gets too much. Sit with your partner in conflict instead of shutting down. Talk about your feelings, even if it's awkward. Let yourself be seen. Share vulnerable thoughts. This is where the rewiring happens, in the discomfort that you have been running away from. Build emotional vocabulary. Build it. You've got to build new vocabulary. I promise you. If you grew up emotionally shut down, start naming those feelings. I feel scared. I feel sad. I feel frustrated. Build the right vocabulary. So it's not always I'm angry. No, I feel let down. I feel abandoned. Tell your partner, I'm uncomfortable with this. Don't shame yourself for having feelings. Notice feelings aren't dangerous. Avoiding them is what is dangerous. The words you couldn't say as a kid, say them now. I feel hurt. I feel sad. I'm scared. Change the belief. Step 4. Intimacy is not losing yourself. It's a lie. Real intimacy is actually becoming more of yourself. It's like when you're getting to know God and you have this deep intimacy with God, and you can just come to God anyhow. That's how we're meant to come in our relationships. When you're truly known and loved, and you do not disappear. What's the worst that will happen? You become more alive. That's honestly. You can be close and independent. They aren't opposites, they're partners. Step 5, create rituals of connection. 10 minutes of conversations about real things, date nights, phones away, physical touch, hugs, sex, intimacy through body, vulnerability. Share something real each day. These rituals rewire your nervous system towards security. Find those moments and just say it. Once again, there's a timeline here. Now, I'm giving you permission to go slow, and I'm giving you permission to go deep. I'm reassuring you that intimacy is not dangerous. It will be your healing. The important part, honestly, is that this isn't shame, it is information. Your inner child has been trying to protect you. She has been doing the best they can with the tools they have. But now you know different, it means you can change it. Now, this is the goal: secure attachment. You're comfortable with both closeness and independence. You can ask for what you need directly and hear what they need also. Conflict doesn't threaten the relationship. You can regulate your emotions and not depend on your partner. You can trust your partner generally and not need constant proof. You can be vulnerable without losing yourself. You don't need constant reassurance. You don't pull away when things get close. You can celebrate your partner's success without envy. You're yourself in your relationship. Fights end in connection, not distance. You feel safe in your own skin. You can apologize when you're wrong. You can listen when you're hurt and when they are hurt. And you can believe the relationship can survive hard times. When both partners are secure or working towards security, relationship thrives. Not because there are no problems, but because problems get solved instead of festering. Now, here's the role of your partner. Your partner cannot heal your attachment style. What can they do, however? They can provide a safe environment for your healing. They can have patience whilst you rewire your patterns. They can call you out lovingly when you're triggered. They can refuse to play into old dynamics. They can model secure attachment. They can support your individual therapy or coaching. What they cannot do, however, they cannot fix your anxiety. Only you can. They cannot convince you that they won't leave. You must believe it. They cannot be your entire source of happiness. You must find yourself. They cannot heal from your trauma. Only you must do the work. They cannot change your attachment style for you. They must be doing theirs whilst you're doing yours. If your partner is also insecurely attached, you both can heal if you're willing, and couples therapy is highly recommended. Individual therapy too is very, very recommended, right? And probably easier to do. If your partner is unwilling to do this work, you can still heal. The relationship might not improve, but you can still heal. And you'll be healing. Yes, it's tough, but you can still heal. I want you to know that you can do it. There's power in one. I know there's immense power in two, but there's also power in one. There's one can take down 1,000, the Bible says. If your partner is abusive, however, no amount of your healing will fix this. Get out now and get support. Heal away from the situation. So, yes, the best situation is that you both do the work together. If your partner is unwilling, you can still do the work by yourself. But if your partner now starts to abuse you, you've got to get out of it. An unwilling partner makes it harder, but it is not impossible, right? A willing partner, fantastic, best situation. An unwilling one, it's harder, but you can still do it. You can. My husband never believed in therapy. I'm not even sure if he does right now. So when I was going for therapy, I went alone, but I was determined to do it. And what started happening was he started also, shifting because my belief system in myself and him changed. Now, these are some red flags in all relationships. If you have a narcissistic partner that uses your attachment style against you, then you've got to look at it. You've got to, well, I'm not asking you to leave, but it's up to you. You can heal it. They will create anxiety, then withdraw supply of love, attention, affection. Look, if you find this in your partner, run. They create avoidance by being suffocating, then withdrawing. They always leave you confused and off balance. No amount of work will fix this. It will keep damaging you. If you have an emotionally abusive partner, here are some flags, some things to look at. They isolate you from support. Run from those people. They say, sorry, you're now you are married to me and no other person. I'm the only important person in your life. Run from that person because they cannot be. If they make you doubt your own reality, which is gaslighting you, you saw something and they say what, and then turn it and make it you with the problem, run. They use your attachment wounds as weapons. They cycle between love and cruelty. You've got to get support and heal in safety. I would also ask you that you might have to come out of it. Separation is good. There's nothing wrong with separation. Go and get the support that you need. Hopefully, he or she also does the same. Partner unwilling to do the work. You're trying to heal, they refuse therapy, they blame you for all the problems, they won't acknowledge their patterns, they expect you to change whilst they stay the same. You still can heal. The relationship might improve, but it also has the capacity or possibility of it not improving. So you must know this. I have to be honest with you. If your intuition says no, even if you can't articulate why, your nervous system knows. So trust it. Listen to the discomfort. It is what? Reassuring. So, here are some green flags that you need to see in your relationships. They acknowledge the attachment style. These are green flags. Good. They're willing to go for therapy. They can hear your needs without being defensive. They apologize and actually change. Some people apologize, they don't change. That's a red flag. Committed to the relationship and your healing and their healing. They're willing to they do their own work, no, not waiting for you to fix them. They celebrate your growth. They are willing to be vulnerable too. This is green flags all the way. Once you see all these things in your partner or the person, just be ticking green flag, green flag. This is the person I want to be with. Healing your attachment takes time, but with the right partner and dedication, it's absolutely possible. Do you understand that? Very possible. I have some real stories that I put here from chaos to calm. Olivia and James. Olivia was anxious, James was avoidant, dated for 5 years. Relationship was a roller coaster. Olivia texted constantly, needed reassurance. James felt smothered on the other hand, pulled away. Olivia panicked at distance, pursued harder. James shut down and completely it broke their relationship 6 months after. The turning point, I can't do this cycle anymore. James said, neither can I. Instead of trying to fix the relationship, they both came to me individually for therapy. Olivia's work was anxious to secure, realized her anxiety came from her mother's neglect, learned to self soothe instead of text, built friendships so James wasn't her world, faced the fear he might leave and I'll be okay. This is powerful work, my brothers and sisters. James, on the other hand, realized his withdrawal came from his father's controlling rage. His father wanted to control everything he did. He was fighting it. I want freedom. You can't control me. Okay. He learned to stay present even when uncomfortable. He started therapy instead of shutting down, and he faced the fear that intimacy will not destroy him. The couples work. They now then did couples work together with me and learned each other's patterns. They could name it. I'm having anxious feelings rather than blaming the other person. They've developed tools to interrupt the dance. Beautiful. I was so excited to see them 1 year after. Things were, yes, they had their conflicts, but they will resolve them. These two people, they were not fully secure, but they were working towards it and they had a functional relationship. And this is what love is supposed to feel like, was what Olivia said. Now, the key insight here is they didn't stay together because of individual therapy. They stayed together because both were willing to do the individual work first. And that's what made the difference, right? This is it. Sometimes, hey, it could take 1 year, it could take 2 years. I mean, something you have carried for 40 years, you're not going to change it in one day. So these are some affirmations that I created for you. For anxious attachment, I'm enough without constant reassurance. My partner loves me even when they need space. I can self-soothe my anxiety. For avoidant attachment, vulnerability is a strength, is my strength, not a weakness. I can be intimate and independent. My partner is not my parent, and connection is safe. I mean, write it and read it to yourself. For all styles, I am secure in my relationships. I trust myself and my partner. I can ask for what I need. I can hear what my partner needs also. This relationship is worth the work. I am healing, I'm growing, I'm whole. So pick one affirmation that resonates most. And say it 3 times daily, morning, afternoon, and night. Keep saying it. After 30 days, pick another and build your repertoire of truth, because repetition rewires only if you use it daily for weeks and months. And this is the practice that will change and create change. Now, when you are dating before being committed, for some people here, you are not even married. These are some anxious dating patterns to watch. Texting constantly early on, pumping the brakes help, because now you can see it. Getting attached too quickly, give it time. Ignoring red flags to keep them, your needs matter. Over explaining when they seem distant, don't chase. This is the work you're meant to do. Go slow, don't fall too fast. Notice if they're anxious. And this is awareness for you, because now you know the work that you need to do with each other. For an avoidant person, sabotaging promising relationships, notice the fear. Look at the patterns. Finding faults to create distance. You know, some people are just always looking for faults. And yesterday, the shirt he wore was so it gave me the ick. Okay, be honest about it and say, okay, I really liked his smile. And so if I saw it again yesterday, just something. Avoiding vulnerable conversations. Trust me, you can have it. And suddenly losing interest when they open up. Sit with the discomfort. Stay present. Don't run. Notice when you want to exit. When you say, oh, I have a phone call to make. Secure dating looks like you like them and value your own life. You can have fun together and apart. You communicate directly. Hey, I really like you. I enjoyed the time we spent yesterday. You notice red flags and give fair chances. Because don't forget, everybody is dealing with different things. You can be honest about your needs. You're interested in their life, not obsessed. You feel excited, not anxious. You can be honest. I want to take this slow, or I see potential. And you know that they're going to accept it. Now, people with secure attachments make better partners. They might be less exciting, however, because excitement is often anxious chemistry, not real compatibility. It's when you say, oh, he put keeps me on my toes, or she keeps me on her toes. That doesn't mean that they're secure. It might be that they are used to chaos, and now you have entered that cycle of chaos. So look through. They might not be the one that say, oh, he's mysterious or she's exciting. They might just give this balance, and we can call it boring. So be very careful of the words you use. Now, like I said, there's a timeline, but it's not linear. It's over months. There's awareness, then you see your first changes, then you see your habits forming, then there's integration, there's deep change, there's reality check. Some people move faster, some people move slower. Okay, the severity of the wounds, the consistency of practice, the availability of support equals speed of change. But movement happens for everyone who commits. So there's no realistic timeline. Don't be too fast. Don't be too slow. Just be honest. That's what we're looking for. So, what are your key takeaways from this class? Your attachment style is learned, it's not innate. You formed with them when you were vulnerable, you can change it. Identify your pattern. Am I anxious, avoidant, disorganized, or secure? Most people have a primary style, and I've taken time to break it down for you, down to even dating, so you have no excuse. Understand the dynamics. How do you push your partners away? How do you pull your partners towards you? What's your go-to move? Do your own work first. I cannot overemphasize it. Your partner cannot heal your attachment. Only you can. Therapy, coaching, self-awareness and practice and repetition will help you. Communicate your needs calmly. Tell your partner what you're working on. Ask for patience. Ask for what you need. This is so powerful. I need your support in something. What I need for you to do for me is be patient with yourself. This is years of patterns, my sisters and brothers. It's years. Months of healing, years of healing is normal. You will get there. And when you do the work, your relationships will transform. Not because you found the right person, because there's no such thing as right person, but because you have become a secure person. And secure people attract secure love. And my final scripture: love is patient, love is kind. It doesn't envy, it doesn't boast, it's not proud, it does not dishonor others, it's not self seeking, it's not easily angered, it keeps no wrongs, record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. This is what secure attachment looks like. This is what we're working towards, not just with a partner, but with ourselves first. And I joined this bandwagon because this is the love that I'm working towards being and knowing deeply. When you love yourself this way, with patience, kindness, truth telling, trust, you become able to receive that kind of love from others. And you become able to give it too. And this is a call to wholeness and a call to love. Now, if you're ready to go from where you are to becoming secure, start with identifying today. Take that quiz that I shared earlier and get your pattern. Share your insights with us in the community. Zero investment, just your time. I don't need anything from you. Just type. I've invested over an hour right now. I mean, I can talk for 2 hours. I'm just holding myself for us to, contain this within an hour. But it's useful to you. Share it with us. What did you learn? How did you learn it? What's your partner's style? Ask them to do the test as well. The quiz. Let's see where you are. Let us teach it. And if you want to go deeper, I can support you, and I've created something called the Attachment Style Healing Workshop. It's for you. 100%. If you want it, fine. If you don't, fine as well. I've given you so many tools that you can use on your own. But if you then sit in and say, okay, I can't figure this out myself, and most times you can't, then reach out to me and get the support that you need. Okay? I do one-on-one coaching. Work with me on your relationship. Customize your healing journey, and it gives you faster transformation. However, in all of this, remember, your attachment style is not your destiny. You can be securely attached today, and your next relationship can be different starting now. Thank you for sitting through this entire presentation. It means that you're serious about change. And the relationships that you've had in the past, they taught you something, they shaped you. But from today, remind yourself they don't define your future. You do. Your work matters, your healing matters, your future relationships matter. And it's never, ever too late. With love and belief in your transformation, I love you. And if it's a secure relationship you want, it starts inside you. Yes, yes. So thank you very much for today. Thank you for listening to me. We spent over an hour, and I'm so excited to be able to do this because guess what? This is how I also learn. As I'm saying it to you, I'm listening to it as well. My subconscious mind is picking all the lessons. And I'm going to sit down with my notebook and write after this because I believe that I'm a fantastic teacher. And I hope that I've been able to share with you and break it down. I'm not sure if I've really ever seen anybody break this down the way that I've broken it down, but I felt it was necessary to, so that it will help you. And you're no longer doing the guesswork. Am I not? Now you have the quiz, you take it, and then there are pathways to leading you to secure. And when you need support, I'm here for you. Okay? My name is Adeola Kingsley James. Once again, I love you. I love you. I love you. And see you again same time next week. Mwah. God bless.